Along with the major adoption of cloud infrastructure, the usage of Microsoft Azure is also growing rapidly. As being a major public cloud provider, Azure has grabbed almost 40% of the market share in the current public cloud market, resulting in the more number of jobs as well as the need to hire more Azure certified professionals as well. There is a huge amount of confusion as to which Azure certification you should choose, right? So moving on with this video, we'll discuss about the same, that is, which Azure certification is right for you. Hey guys, I'm Shubham from Intellipath and I welcome you all to this video. So without any further ado, let's have a look at the agenda for this video. First and foremost, we'll discuss what exactly is an Azure certification. Then after that, we'll discuss the major role-based certification exams in Azure. Then which certification exam is for whom. After that, the curriculum for the certification exams. And most importantly, exam pattern and how you should prepare for the certification exams. At last, what Intellipath has to offer you. By the end of this session, we'll have a short quiz based on this video. Make sure you don't miss it. I hope this agenda is clear to you. So let's get started.
Let us first understand what exactly is an Azure certification. So this certification is a level of Microsoft Azure cloud expertise that an IT professional obtains after passing one or more exams that Microsoft offers. Basically, it is to demonstrate and validate the technical cloud knowledge and skills one has obtained. Now, what are those certifications? That we shall discuss as we move forward. Here, I'm going to discuss some of the major Azure certifications, and after that, we will quickly discuss about them. Now, moving forward, first one is Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator Associate, that is AZ-103. Next one, the Azure Developer Associate, that is AZ-203. Third one, the Microsoft Certified Azure Solutions Architect, that comes under the expert level, that is AZ-300 and 301. Last one is the Data Lake and Data Factory. So it is usually to perform big data engineering on Microsoft Cloud services and commonly known as 70776. Now let's have a quick glance at these certifications. So now for the AZ-103 certification, this falls under the associate level. With this certification, Microsoft aims to help the candidates learn and acquire a wide range of skills that are required to be a cloud administrator, such as managing various cloud services, security, networking, storage, and many more. Previously, a candidate had to pass AZ-100 and AZ-101 certification exams in order to achieve this certification. But after receiving constant feedbacks from learners about the exam being difficult and with too much syllabus, Microsoft Learning decided to merge these two certification exams and name it as AZ-103 certification exam, with 70% of the syllabus from AZ-100 and 30% of the syllabus from AZ-101 exam. Next we have the AZ-203. So guys, this is another associate level role-based certification exam by Microsoft Azure. With this certification, Microsoft aims to help the candidates learn all the skills required in the development domains such as designing and building cloud applications, services, and many more. Before AZ-203 certification exam was introduced, AZ-200 and 201 were in the picture in order to get certified as an Azure Associate Developer. But both of these exams got retired and AZ-203 took their place. Right. Again, after receiving constant feedback from learners about the exam being difficult and with too much syllabus, Microsoft Learning decided to take the similar step for this certification exam as well, and the AZ-203 exam came into the picture. And this exam pulls in approximately 70% of its objectives from the AZ-200 exam and approximately 30% of its objectives from the AZ-201 exam. Now moving forward to the another exam, that is the AZ-300 and 301 exam. This is the first role-based certification exam that is launched at the expert level. With this certification, Microsoft aims to help the candidates learn the most advanced Azure skills along with learning to design a secure, reliable and scalable solution for businesses. After this certification, a candidate is expected to have gained expertise in computer, networking, security and storage. Even though the certification also covers the skills of the Azure Administrator and Azure Developer Associate level certifications, but they are not a mandatory prerequisite for the certification. In order to achieve this certification, you will have to pass the following exams, which are AZ-300, that is Microsoft Azure Architect Technologies, and AZ-301, that is Microsoft Azure Architect Design. So again, these two above exams are the replacement for the old 70535 exam, that is Architecting Microsoft Azure Solutions. Now moving forward, that is the 70776 certification exam. So this certification requires candidates to get accustomed with implementing big data engineering on Azure. So the learners must have skills on Microsoft Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Azure Data Lake Analytics, Azure Data Factory, and Azure Stream Analytics, and subsequently perform big data best practices using the same. As informed by the Microsoft Learning, the certification name 70776 is about to be expired, and no replacement exam name is being given to it yet. However, the replacement exam would consist of all the topics from the current curriculum with a few topics removed or merged with a different topic. Right. So let's move forward. So guys, there is a huge amount of vagueness when it comes to choosing who should go for which certification, right? So moving forward with the video, let us discuss which certification is for whom. So for AZ-103 exam, candidates taking this exam are expected to have sufficient knowledge of various services across full IT lifecycle, applications and their environments. At least 1 year of experience in an IT administration and an hands-on with server provisioning, monitoring, resource management is recommended. Now for AZ-203 exam, in order to pass this exam, the candidate must have at least 1 year of experience of developing scalable solutions indulging in all phases of software development. And the candidate must be skilled in at least one cloud supported programming language. So this exam requires a candidate to be proficient in software development phases such as solution designing, development, deployment, testing and maintenance. Now we have AZ-300 and 301 exam. If we first talk about AZ-300 exam, then a candidate must have expert level skills in at least one of the expert level domains. This exam requires a candidate to have sound knowledge of various concepts in IT operations such as networking, virtualization, business continuity, data management and disaster recovery. And for AZ-301, in order to pass this exam, the candidate must be skilled in Azure administration and Azure development. So skills in DevOps are also recommended. So the candidates taking this exam are expected to be able to build Azure solutions according to the business requirements, such as making decisions that help the business become secure, solutions making the business more scalable. Now moving forward to 70776. So this certification is for the candidates who design analytic solutions and build operationalized solutions on Azure. Candidates who are familiar with the features and capabilities of batch data processing, real-time processing and operationalization technologies, and of course the data engineers. Now let's move forward. So guys, in order to be well prepared for Azure certification exams, you must know what are the objectives of the exam, right? So following the same order as before, let us first discuss the curriculum for AZ-103 exam. Due to constant feedbacks about the exam being difficult, Microsoft has divided the entire exam syllabus into 5 modules. So in order to ease the exam preparation, let us discuss each of these modules below. Manage Azure subscriptions and resources. So guys, this percentage figure that you see here basically indicates the relative weightage of the questions from each of the modules. If the percentage is higher, then you should expect more questions from that module and vice versa. So in this module, you need to be thoroughly prepared with the managing Azure subscriptions, resource groups, analyzing resource utilization and consumption, and managing role-based access control, that is RBAC. Second, we have implement and manage storage, where it holds a weightage of 15 to 20% in the exam, covering the topics like creation and configuration of storage accounts, Azure files, importing and exporting data to Azure, and implementing Azure backups. Third, deploying and managing virtual machines, holding a weightage from 15 to 20%, covering topics in creation and configuration of virtual machines for Windows and Linux, managing Azure VMs and automating their deployments and managing their backups. Third, we have deploying and managing virtual machines, holding a weightage from 15 to 20%, covering topics in creation and configuration of virtual machines for Windows and Linux, managing Azure VMs and automating their deployments and managing their backup. Fourth one is configure and manage virtual networks, which holds a majority of weightage of around 30 to 35% and covering topics in create connectivity between virtual networks, implementing and managing virtual networking, network security groups, Azure load balancer, monitoring and troubleshooting virtual networks, integrating on-premises network with Azure virtual network. And the fifth one and the last one is manage identities, holding a weightage from 15 to 20% in the exam. Managing Azure Active Directory and AD objects, users, groups and devices, implementing and managing hybrid identities and multi-factor authentication are being covered in this module. So now for AZ-203 exam. So guys, the entire exam syllabus has been divided into 6 modules based on the feedbacks again. So developing Azure infrastructure as a service compute solutions, which holds a relative weightage of 10 to 15% in the module. So in these modules, you need to be thoroughly prepared with creating containerized solutions, implementing batch jobs by using Azure batch services, and implementing solutions that use virtual machines. Second, we have develop Azure Platform as a Service Compute Solutions, where it holds a weightage of 20 to 25% in the exam, covering topics like creating Azure App Services, web apps and API apps, Azure App Service mobile apps, and implementing Azure functions. And the third one is the developing for Azure Storage, holding a weightage from 15 to 20%, covering the topics in developing solutions that use blob storage, relational database, Cosmos DB storage, and storage tables. And the fourth one is the implementing Azure Security, holding a weightage from 15 to 20% and covering topics in implementing access control, authentication, and secure data solutions. Now the fifth one is monitoring, troubleshooting, and optimizing Azure solutions, holding a weightage from 15 to 20% in the exam. Instrumenting solutions to support monitoring and logging, integrating caching and content delivery with the solutions, and developing code to support scalability of apps and services are being covered in this module. And the last one is connect to and expand Azure services and third-party services, which holds a weightage of 20 to 25% in the exam and covering topics in establishing API gateways, integrating Azure search within solutions, and developing an app service logic app. And similarly, for AZ300 and 301 exam, it covers topics in deploy and configure infrastructure, implement workloads and security, create and deploy apps, implement authentication and secure data, develop for the cloud and Azure storage, determine workload requirements. Then after this comes the designing part. That is the design for identity and security, design a data platform solution, design a business continuity strategy, design for deployment, migration and integration, design an infrastructure strategy. Now at last for 70776. Though this certification is on the verge of retirement, but its syllabus is not going to be any different than the current version. However, few transition will be there, like the removal of few topics or just merge them with any topics, right? So if we talk about its objectives, then design and implement complex event processing by using Azure Stream Analytics, holding a weightage from 15 to 20%, which includes the topics like ingest data for real-time processing, design and implement Azure Stream Analytics, implement and manage the streaming pipeline, query real-time data by using the Azure Stream Analytics query language. Then the next one is design and implement Azure SQL Data Warehouse solutions. Again, holding a weightage from 15 to 20%, including the topics like design tables in Azure SQL Data Warehouse, query data in Azure SQL Data Warehouse, integrate Azure SQL Data Warehouse with the other services. Then design and implement cloud-based integration by using Azure Data Factory. To implement datasets and linked services, move, transform, and analyze data by using Azure Data Factory activities, orchestrate data processing by using Azure Data Factory pipelines, monitor and manage Azure Data Factory, other topics included in this. Now the last one is manage and maintain Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Factory, and Azure Stream Analytics, holding a majority of weightage in the exam, that is 20 to 25%. So this module covers the topics in provision Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Factory, Stream Analytics, implement authentication, authorization, auditing, manage data recovery for Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Azure Data Lake. So this module covers the topics in provision Azure SQL Data Warehouse, Data Lake, Data Factory, Stream Analytics, implement authentication, authorization, auditing, design and implement storage solution for big data implementations. So that's all for the objective part. So now let's move forward and discuss about the exam pattern, followed by how you should prepare for this exam.
No doubt, the Microsoft Azure certification exams are one of the most challenging exams in the IT industry. Although the number of questions in this exam are subject to change over time, you can expect around 40 to 60 questions in this exam, and also you can expect different questions formats and tie-ups in this exam, including review screen, mark review, multiple choices, short answer, hot area, repeated answer choices, drag and drop, case studies, the best answer, and active screen. All the questions in this exam can follow any of these question types. You will get around 150 minutes to complete the examination with an additional 30 minutes of sitting time. For the good results in the exam, it is required to follow the weight associated with each exam module during your Azure exam preparation. The pricing depends on which location you are taking your exam from. For example, if you're taking your exam in USA, then it is going to cost you around 160. But if you're taking it in India, then you will have to pay an amount of 4800 INR. And the pricing is subject to change without a notice from country to country. As the pricing does not include applicable taxes, you need to confirm with your examination provider for an exact fee. If you're a student, then you can get a fee reduction in the exam if you can submit your valid education credentials. Moreover, Microsoft Partner Network Program member, Microsoft trainers, and academic program members are also eligible for the reduced pricing. Most of the Microsoft technical questions require a passing score of 700. Any score greater or equal to 700 will be marked as passed. Otherwise, it will be marked as failed. Most of the short questions in this exam are 1 point. If any question is worth more than that, then it will be indicated in the question part itself. Also note that there are no penalty for an incorrect answer. The exam is available only in English language. Now we know of the examination pattern. Let us discuss few of the tips for the exam preparation. How to prepare for this exam. The first tip is to plan the module structure and study accordingly. For an example, if you are going to start with app services and containers, then make sure you have already covered the topics of creating the app services, containers, container images and Docker files, so that you know the basics of implementing app services in the container. Or if you are going to implement the Azure backup, then you must know about how to create and configure the storage accounts along with the configuration of Azure files, so that you know the basics of implementing the configurations and storage account. You would require a lot of questions and verified study materials on Azure in order to earn good passing scores. You can refer to the official curriculum and study guide to plan your module study and get the right information. After that, practice simple test online. Once gained enough knowledge with this, then you should be able to step up into the next part of practicing hands-on. And this is the most crucial part in your learning journey. So guys, you can easily perform hands-on in Azure services since Azure provides a free tier option for newbies and you get a $300 of credit in your Azure account. So in addition to that, check for the online training so that in case you have queries related to the subject, then you can clear them right away and experts' help is always recommended. Last but not the least, join the forums related to Microsoft Azure and search for questions related to your subject and check out the questions asked by the other people and go through the answers posted by audiences. It will always be helpful for you. Last suggestion from my end is that go for dumps only when you are thoroughly prepared with the subject. You might be able to clear the exam and get certification from it, but believe me guys, you won't be job ready, as during the interview without the practical approach, you won't be able to crack it or be able to answer the questions by interviewer, because you took the shortcut to get certified, right? So be aware of the shortcuts, do a thorough study with the proper implementations in Azure and rise up in your career path. Alright, so now you might be wondering how to take time for all this research and study. That is where we at Intellipath are here for you. We understand that you as professionals face problems to take out time for upskilling from your personal life, right? So that is why we have done all the hard work for you and have come up with the comprehensive courses on AZ103, AZ203, AZ300 and 301 and Azure Data Lake and Data Factory. And each course is curated by the industry experts, which includes the different case studies and assignments based on each module along with the industry oriented projects. If you are interested, then you can go through the course details with the link provided in the description box.
If you are interested, then you can go through the course details. The link is given in the description box below. So guys, now let me ask you a question related to this video. If you are from a development background, which certification exam discussed in this video is right for you? Do let us know in the comment section below. So guys, this brings us to the end of this session. I hope this video was helpful for you. See you next time.